Hello and welcome to the Road of Reeve. I'm here next to my gi, in the training room, having just done about an hour's MMA training, more or less, excluding trips to the kettle to refill my cup of tea. And I've just been doing the one drill, the drill that I mentioned yesterday, I believe. Now I have a bruised left knee, but my right knee has succeeded. It's a little tender, but I don't think it'll actually bruise, whereas I think the other one will. But that's okay. I've stopped training now because I don't want to outtrain one side as opposed to the other. I want to get a good balance in, though the old right is definitely far superior than the left at the moment. I've got to work on my hip flexibility, which is what I'm going to go into after a bit of Kung Fu practice, because it's Wednesday, which is Kung Fu practice day. And I don't want to injure my knee, because cumulative damages lead to greater damages, which lead to injuries. So I'm going to give it some rest until tomorrow. I've put some ointment-y stuff on it, which apparently helps joints. Who knows? We'll see. And yeah, that's what I've been up to so far today. I've done my skipping. I've done a lot of walking, but not enough. I don't think I need to do some more. Might go for a run this evening, but today's not one of my dedicated running days. So I was just making sure the car didn't pull in. And I'm thinking about looking into sort of qualifications, courses, etc. for coaching and fitness stuff, because fitness is the third pillar of self-defense, as far as I'm concerned. Out of three main pillars and like a little connective tissue, well, not connective tissue, like a little decorative element. So we've got mindset and awareness, one pillar, skills, which is the physical stuff, second pillar, and fitness, third pillar, and then kit, which is like equipment, is the fourth pillar, which is only on there because it does help self-defense, even though it's not necessary for it. So it's the smallest, absolute tiny bit of self-defense. The mindset and awareness is the most important, because if you have the right mindset and awareness, very rarely will you find yourself in self-defense situations. Skills pay the bills. Fitness is a deterrent and an assistance in the actual combat, should it come about. So that's what I've been doing. I also have been absolutely failing at some stuff that I'm trying. So I've got tennis ball and football, a little football, which is really hard. So it's super bouncy, as well as the exercise ball. And the reason I've got three of these in here is differences in size. Big, medium, small. The plan, in theory, is for me to be able to throw one in the air and properly roundhouse kick. That wasn't a proper roundhouse kick. There was nowhere near enough power. I hit with the hook on my foot, which isn't ideal for like roundhouses and stuff. Okay, cool, they're not delivering here. And ideally I'd hit with like my lower shin. But it's really hard to get the distancing right. But that was actually a lot better. Still, not enough power, but the thing is, I'm never going to feel all that much power on it, because it starts moving as soon as I make impact. So, that's what I have the issue with though. I keep missing, or messing up the timing or something, which is why I think this is good practice for it. Because even if I do impact, I need to be able to go back to my stance rather than wobbling around up here. The tennis ball is the next natural progression, but it's, considering how hard it is for me to hit this, I don't think I'm going to hit this. That was the wrong type of kick, and I nearly broke my tripod. But yeah, something I'm going to add in to this training is, that was entirely wrong, at some point I'm going to go outside onto a field to do this. And I'll have to run and go and get the ball once I do hit it, rather than just let it bounce off the wall. Likely a lot better for the wall, and it'll love my cardio even more. Though it is odd just how much this seems to work me in comparison to running and stuff like that. But oops, I just knocked most of the like jigsaw bits out of my mat. That's fine, I'll just have to put those back in at some point. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. And then Kung Fu, gonna have lots of practice. Most of it though is self-discipline-y stuff, more so than technique work. There is some technique work, but the issue is with traditional martial arts. To pass the grading, you need to be able to use the techniques against that and hold, rather than like against an actual resisting opponent, which is not how I would recommend training for actual combative situations. But of course, the techniques aren't necessarily the most combat effective ones, so I will be practicing them to pass the grading, and once I've graded is when I evaluate the syllabus for the prior belt before I move on to learning the next belt, and think maybe this technique is actually worth putting into my combat repertoire, like the roundhouse. I'm not very good at it, but should I get good at it, then it'll definitely be worth putting in the repertoire. Yeah, obviously push, thrust, keep, style kicks, jab, crosses, all of that good stuff. Originally, most of that I learned at Kung Fu. But, hey, that wasn't too bad. There's a lot of stances, so like this sort of thing, and forms, which is effectively just moving from one stance to another in a specific way, maintaining balance and with proper levels and such that I need to practice. Yeah, that's next on my to-do list. So that's what I will be doing. I figured I would just let you know that lots of training is good, overtraining is bad. And that's why I wanted to, partially why I wanted to record this, to show that I do take breaks, goof off a bit, as well as do my actual business side of work after or in between training sessions. Because if I do 1 hour of MMA followed by 3 of Kung Fu directly, then have lunch and go into another hour and a half of Kung Fu, that's not going to be good for me. That's going to be too much. So, yeah. Anyway, I will go now. And I hope you've enjoyed this Road of Brief sports fitness MMA Make a Champ update video thing. Yeah.